Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart.
I become so self-conscious when it gets to that narrow of mind part. But we won't dwell on that here so early in the proceedings. Good morning and welcome to this weekend's edition of the program. And a happy holiday weekend to you and yours. It is the 4th of July holiday weekend. Big holiday tomorrow. Everybody's geared up for the barbecues and stuff. But we have guests in studio with an S at the end, plural. First of all, I'd like to introduce our good friend, once again, making her monthly appearance on the program. Yes, she is a regular.
Good morning, Arthur.
Hi, Carmela Gear. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
No use kicking if you're not swimming.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, you set me up for that one every month, and I just can't resist.
It isn't our show unless you say that.
Oh, man. And, well, actually, you have brought along a guest.
I have.
So I will let you do the introductions.
Absolutely. So today I brought with me one of the newest members of our team. Mm-hmm. Her name is Alicia Jarman, and she is our afternoon program assistant. She does much of the development duties for the program, and she's just been with us for a little while, but already she's had quite an impact on the program in getting us kick-started with a new and improved annual calendar and some really great new ideas that she's going to talk about today. So good morning, Alicia.
Good morning.
Nice to have you here, Alicia.
Thanks for having me.
And I'll tell you, Carmela, the last time she was here, kind of promoting the fact that you would be here on this month's edition, kind of ran by your resume briefly.
We did, yeah. I know, huh?
How have you done all that stuff
well, I
in
said it before.
such a short amount of time, young lady?
Absolutely. And I'll say it again, we really were blessed with these new staff members, but I'm going to give Alicia a chance to talk about herself and to tell you a little bit about her background.
Yeah, before you get before you get into some of the programs and what you're doing at the Edward King Center, tell us about yourself. You've talked into one of these before.
I have. I actually was on your sister station, Mix 99.3, for a while. I actually started or helped start that station. So I did that for a little while, and then...
You're that Alicia.
I'm that Alicia.
I'll be darned. How soon we forget.
I know. And after that, I worked a little downtown, and then I found a home at the Newport Daily News, which I currently do. I'm the editorial assistant there. Mm-hmm. And I actually knew Carm through and the Edward King Center through the email. I got her monthly listings every month, and I put those in the paper. And I saw that she was looking for an afternoon program assistant, and I thought I could help out. So I sent her my resume, and she called me, and we kind of hooked up that way.
That's right.
Now, do you have a military connection, too?
I do. I served 6 years in the Army National Guard as a reporter.
God bless you. Wow, that's...
I know.
That's pretty
special, huh?
Not bad at all. So now you hooked up with Carm and the Edward King Center how long ago?
I think about 5 months now,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe
it hasn't been that long.
Hasn't been long, but already a very big impact on the program. And I'm hoping that she's going to talk a little bit about some of the new ideas that she has brought to the center, all of it having a journalistic and broadcasting bite and tinge to it, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, so basically what we're trying to do is there's a lot of members of the Edward King House Senior Center, 755.
755 now,
yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of them are very unique people, and they have really unique stories. Well, they all have unique stories, and we really want to get them to capture their lives on video. A lot of people write down their past and share that with their families, but what we want to do is do the more modern take on it and start a video library. So I'm going to try and interview whoever's willing and keep the interviews on video at the Edward King House for families to come see who their relatives were, and for other members to get to know the members that we have. So we're calling it a video time capsule. And off of that, I've always wanted to do something related to video with my military background. So I've started my own kind of business, Video Time Capsules by Alicia. And what I'm doing is I'm going to weddings, baby showers, and kind of doing like a photo booth, but more a video booth, and having families send secret messages to their family members at the event. And then the actual videos aren't seen until a milestone date, like a first anniversary or the baby's birth and whatnot. So we're kind of working together on that, and we're hoping with the seniors that the families will come see the center. More people will sign up for the center. It's a great program that Carmela does over there, so we're hoping it generates some business.
You know, we did back in the 80s on WADK, we recorded an entire day's programming for a time capsule over at Newport City Hall.
See?
On a cassette. So we're all saying,
How?
what are we going to play it
How are
on?
we going to hear it now?
It's like 100 years later, they're going to look at that and go,
Yeah.
what the hell is this thing?
And who is that?
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
But what makes this a little bit different now is that instead of waiting 50, 100 years before you
Sure.
open the time capsule, and Alicia knows, I have a really hard time with the waiting part. But to shorten up that time by where the video capsule is open. And, 3 years ago when I started in the program, all I heard were these wonderful stories of the people who came before me, or the folks who used to be members at the King House, and the impact that they had on the community and that they had on their families. But it's not written down anywhere. There's no evidence of it anywhere. It's just been passed down by word of mouth. Mm-hmm. So Alicia's terrific idea here was an opportunity to, put it on film and really get to see the individuals that have become icons within our community, and talk about where they came from and how they got to be, whoever they are within the community or within their family, and leave that as a lasting memento. Not necessarily for after they have left the earth, but while they're still here.
Sure.
And being able to share all these wonderful personalities and histories that are alive and well, and coming in and out of our doors on a regular basis. So when Alicia came to us with this idea of creating these little mini time capsules that we can open up a year from now, we can open up 6 months from now, we can open up 60 years from now. Of course, we'll have to keep the technology current as we move along. But the idea is to create this wonderful library of almost like a video yearbook of all the folks that, have participated within the program and show their lasting impact. And Alicia has such a wonderful way about her that we're really excited for what this particular project has to offer.
Yeah.
So we're looking for individuals that would like to participate. She's already got her first volunteer. We're looking for 4 more so we can start our first 5-pack of folks who will have a video time capsule. So if anyone out there is interested, please give us a call at area code 401-846-7426 and ask for information about the video time capsule. Leave your name and number in the event that Alicia's not there at the time that you call, and she'll give you a call back to talk to you a little bit more about how the program works.
And I like the idea just because even if you're not a member and you just want to have your family remembered, and you want to be able to tell generations from now who you were, we can certainly sit down for an interview, record that. If you want to keep it at the Edward King House, great. If not, if you want to just have it, it's a great present for an older relative too.
Absolutely.
To get everyone kind of saying how much they love the individual and what they mean to them, and showing that to them, on Christmas, on their birthday, or anything like that. And years from now, when that individual does pass, you'll still have footage. My great grandmother passed away, and she was the matriarch of my mom's family, and I always think, how am I going to tell my kids about her? I'm going to have to tell them and show them pictures, but wouldn't it be great to show her to them? So
Yeah.
it's kind of the point of it.
Isn't that a great idea?
Wasn't it? Yeah. Wouldn't that be great if that was around like years ago?
I know.
You know?
I know.
I think I buried one in elementary school. A time
capsule?
Yeah, I think we put like our favorite CDs. There's a Backstreet Boys CD somewhere in the ground in Connecticut. So yeah, we've all done it before, but it's once you open the capsule, it's like, who was this person? I got their favorite T-shirt, but who are they? It'd be great if you opened it and it was a video of them saying, back here, back in this day, it was this. We did this for fun, and this is who I am. So.
And that's kind of a fun addition to the project that that really makes it kind of special. So Alicia might be interviewing me, and the time capsule might be for me.
Oh, I will.
Something that might be that I'd leave for my family. But the neat part of it is that in addition to that, she'll invite my family members or people that I know or friends to leave a message or to leave a lasting remark of, oh gosh, what they thought of me, or
how much they loved her.
What our relationship was, when we had one, that kind of thing. It's kind of a lovely way of being able to tell that story, but with the people who are actually involved telling it. So we're really excited about that. And I think the other dimension that Alicia adds to all of this, Alicia is actually the least seen of the entire team because she's there from 2:30 until, depending on what night of the week it is, sometimes until 9:30 at night. So the evening folks tend to see Alicia a whole lot more. The daytime folks very rarely do, because most of what she's working on is development and project oriented. So this particular video project is one of them, but she'll also be heading up our expanded service into public access. You'll be seeing a lot more of her, for this morning's show, as well with, what she has to add to that. We're talking about things like podcasts and video clips for the website and, really adding that new dimension of sight and sound and technology to what it is that, we have to offer. We've been in talks about taping cooking classes and, that kind of thing that would either show up live streamed online or being put into video library. Lots of great ideas that we'll be working on in the next 8 weeks of the summer. To really give her a chance to shine and show her multifaceted set of talents.
My uncle, God rest his soul, my Uncle Charlie,
Yeah.
years ago, back in the late 90s already? Years ago?
Years ago, yeah.
But I was involved in a function up at the Elks Lodge, and he showed up because he was involved with a cable TV show. And
Crossed paths, yeah.
And
I remember.
He put a special together on this particular event, and it's just fun to go back and look at. Even it's not people talking it's just a shot of, different people that were in attendance.
Yeah.
And it's, boy, you go, oh man, it's so that what a great idea.
Isn't that a great idea? It really brings back some really great feelings. Alicia works for the Newport Daily News in the morning, and then for us in the afternoon and the evening. And on Facebook last night, or the other night, I should say, the Newport Daily News had posted a picture of a Babe Ruth All-Star team from Middletown that dates back to 1975, 1976. And the question that they had posed was, does anybody know who these folks are? So I took the post and I shared it and said, okay, Middletown peeps, who are these people? And the next half hour, Facebook just blew up with, I know who those folks are. And, one right after the other, folks had listed who, was in that. It really brought back, I wasn't even here, when that picture was taken. But it brought back a lot of memories for a lot of people that were happy about, back in the day. And who knew that some of the people that I know today played on the All-Star Babe Ruth team in 1976 for Middletown in a wool baseball uniform. So to talk about those kinds of events that, you wouldn't necessarily think of on a day-to-day basis, but you watch a 15 or 20-minute video on some folks that we consider icons in our community, no matter how big or how small, then spurs off conversations that
that's
you wouldn't have had otherwise.
Another thing, too, about Newport, it's so generational. You have people whose, great-grandparents right down to today, grew up and lived here and went to all the same schools that we did, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, I've only been here about 3 years, and I've learned every Newporter has a story.
Oh, yeah.
They all do.
Yeah.
I've learned so much about this town just from talking to people, sitting at a bar stool, sitting at a festival, just talking to people. So I'm like, what if it was on video? Like, what if I could just look back at that and be like, someone's like, that's my grandma, or that's so-and-so.
Yeah.
They loved Folk Fest. They loved this and that. So, yeah, I think it's like all the events that we put on for people. We want people to come, we want people to enjoy it, but I feel like some of those people never get recognized. You know, at a wedding, your guests are never really recognized. It's all about the couple, but imagine being able a year later to look back at a video that had the guests saying how much they loved you, how much they enjoyed the event, not just your wedding video, you know? So that's kind of the point, is the memories are made with people, you know? You want to look back and be like, oh, how amazing was that day? Oh, there's Auntie so-and-so and Grandma so-and-so. So that's pretty much what it is.
Oh, there's nothing like a good conversation about the old days. Especially when you get to people that go a lot farther back than you or I do.
Absolutely. Give you directions based on landmarks that haven't existed in over 50, 60 years, yet we still take a right at the old Almax or take a right at the old Chicken City, or, you know, that kind of thing. And as Alicia mentioned, she's only been here for 3 years. I've been in my position for 3 years, but I've been on the island for 30. And to this day, it's still take a right at the old Chicken City. Now, I was here when Chicken City was here, and I was here when the old Almax was here. But, you know, for many folks that are new to the island or new to Newport or, you know, to this particular part of the state, we're still giving those directions and then having to update them and having to think for a minute, wait, what's there now? Even though the Almax was there 20 years ago.
I get that.
Yeah.
Every time I'm going to this restaurant, they're like, it's not there anymore.
It's
I'm
not
like,
there anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
So it's a way of documenting what was past and making those landmarks and the people who had an impact there.
Well, I'm involved in a little part-time job that we won't elaborate on at the moment, thank you. but it does involve a lot of people stopping and asking questions. Sure. And I had a guy just last weekend, a gentleman who wanted to know where the Army Navy YMCA was, because he was here in the Navy and he was just trying to, you know, get
himself situated,
get his bearings
right?
straight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
still to this day.
Yeah, I had a woman out of the blue said, "Now, isn't there some old baseball field around here?" I said, "Yeah, Cardines Field."
Yeah.
She wanted to go look at it. You know, is it open? Do they sell souvenirs? So it's and I must admit, it's very handy when you do have an idea of what you're talking about when people ask that stuff.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So it's just duh.
Yeah.
But and another thing too, everybody refers to everything in town as the Newport Harbor Hotel and Marina. It's not. It's the old Treadway.
The old Treadway. Yeah.
It's
almost as if life started in 1982 on the island. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And further back. So yeah, those are some of the things that Alicia's been working on and kind of making new. We're taking this summer. I think as we're talking about landmarks and roadways and that kind of thing, there's been a whole lot of construction going on around our beautiful center. We're dialing back dramatically this summer so that we can do a lot more planning with regards to the September to June calendar for the house. And Alicia's got a big chunk of that on her plate with regards to programs and more project-oriented pieces coming into the new year. And she's working on another big project right now that we're not going to name as of yet, so we'll release that next month. But a very big gala that we're working on for the month of November, and lots of really new and exciting things to come out of the King House that just haven't happened before. So we're taking a leap of faith, but really just about everything we do is a leap of faith, and sometimes we come up standing, and other times we kind of trip and fall a little bit, but we pick ourselves up and we keep moving. And if we don't try something new, we'll never know what's out there. So we're really excited for the new energy that Alicia and her counterpart in the morning, Anna, bring to the house. But this video time capsule piece is something we're really excited about to really kind of make permanent some of that storytelling and make some of these, I keep using the word icon, and I don't want it to sound bigger than it actually is, but we have folks who come on a regular basis to the Edward King House who would never in a million years consider themselves an icon. We know better. Yeah. We know that they are icons within the community or within their own families or just within the house. And we really do believe that that needs to be documented, and Alicia's got a lot of great energy to put behind that.
Yeah, I've only been there, like we said, almost 5 months, and the stories I've heard about people and, you know, their backgrounds. And I was talking to one gentleman the other day in the lobby just on my way in, and he was on his way out, and we got to talking because he saw my profile in the newsletter, and he was like, "You were in the military?" I was in the military, and he just went on, and I'm like, imagine if that was on video. If he could just hold that 1 second, sir. Let me grab my camera.
Go grab my camera. Yeah.
But just, you know, to have those people, a lot of people are scared of video cameras. They see the red light and they freeze up, but a lot of people, their personalities come out, you know. When you're one-on-one with someone, just having a conversation, you forget the camera's there.
That's right.
And that's kind of what I want. I want those people to come alive and really share who they are, not have it be told by somebody else. You tell me who you are, you know, and let the world know, you know.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, with these microphone things, you know, you get people that outside away from a microphone just won't shut up. Put them in front of the microphone and they're like,
yeah, and nothing comes out, right? Yeah.
It's funny. We've had people who have been actors, actresses, that public speaking type stuff. They can get up in front of 50,000 people and not flinch. Put them in front of a microphone and it's just like,
Yeah, and they don't know what to do. And that's the other thing, too, is that Alicia will videotape you in the comfort of the Edward King house. Excuse me. So that you can feel at home. And it's really a conversation between herself and her subject. So the hope is, you know, within the first few seconds, they'll forget that the camera is there. Mm-hmm. And they'll just have an opportunity to talk, you know, and tell your story. We hear the stories every day at lunchtime, and they're great stories. But it would be really wonderful to be able to, you know, document them so that others can hear them as well.
And it's edited, so that's the one thing people get scared. It's not live. I'm not streaming this online. It's for your family. It's for you. You know, obviously for promotion, I'm gonna say so and so is here, but not, you know, not in a way. I'm not gonna share the video. And that's the beauty too of Carm says she hates the waiting part of the video time capsule after an event, but you gotta wait. I want you to wait. I want you to be surprised. I want you to on a special day see these messages and be like, oh my God, I forgot all about that, you know? So that's kind of the beauty of it, is the suspense. But some people, like she said, will probably be like, I'm just going to open it now.
I'm going to drive her nuts until it's time to open it.
It's
Absolutely.
Like, open it once, open it every year. You have something, you have a keepsake, like with your family and friends for years. Same thing with the time capsules we're doing at the center. You have something for years to pass on to your family, to your friends. They'll know who you are. You'll leave your mark, you know? So
I can't tell you how often I wish this kind of technology existed at the time that Helen McLeish, our first director, you know, was in charge, and would have loved to have seen 15 minutes of Helen, to hear from her own mouth what her passion was for making the center happen, and really, you know, carrying the torch for seniors in Newport County. I would give almost anything to have that, you know, 5, 10, 15 minutes of hearing it come specifically from her story on how that transition happened, from being the first public library to then becoming the senior center. And what did it look like, you know, and how did the transition happen? What was moving day like when, you know, the library moved out, and how long did it take the transition to happen? Would have been wonderful to have had that kind of video documentation, and now we have a chance to try and catch up to some of that.
Like I've told you on several occasions, I have a vague recollection of that being the library, because my parents lived at the corner. My grandparents lived at the corner of Spring and Young.
Yeah.
And when my father would be there visiting his parents, I used to scoot across the street and mess around in the park and go up to, but I don't really have a vivid recollection of what it was like, because I was just a wee lad back in those days. But
Yeah, and hopefully it gives the seniors or gets them from being kind of scared of modern technology and scared of, kind of embracing the new. A lot of them still don't want to do the email thing and whatnot, but this hopefully I can kind of show them like, hey, like, if you take this video and put it in your DVD player or upload it online or all these little things, you can share it with your family. If they're in California and can't make it to the Edward King Center, there's a way to share it with them. And hopefully that'll kind of loosen them up a little bit to the idea of, the more modern stuff,
right.
Yeah.
We're already starting to see that. So we videotape our choral productions and, some of the other public events that go on at the Edward King House. And they're getting really good at looking for the link, as to where they can see the video, and then they share it with their families. So we've started to chip away at some of that. And that's another blessing to this, idea and this project, is that it will open up more of that comfort level with, there's a lot to be concerned about, and you do want to protect yourself and your identity, and certainly we'll have all those elements in place. But certainly it's a great opportunity to be able to share things in a way that you were never able to share them before. So we're really proud of her.
All right. And listen, with that, we are out of time for this segment of the program. Plus, Alicia, as we record this on a Thursday morning, needs to get off and run into her job.
She's going to go to work, yeah.
So we're going to let Alicia go work for a living. Carmela's going to hang on.
I am.
And we'll be back in segment number 2, seeing how, as you hear this, we are into the month of July. It's another loaded Edward King House calendar for the month ahead. So hang on, back with Carm and all those details in just a moment. And welcome back to this weekend's edition of the program, segment number 2. Carmela and I are just going to fly solo here. But thanks again to Alicia for joining us in the first segment with fascinating stuff. But again, our guest is Carmela Gear, who's the executive director of Newport's Edward King House Senior Center. And as we mentioned right before the break, the month of July is upon us. And I got my e-newsletter from the EKH just like last week or something, and it's I always look forward to getting that, because what are they up to now?
We're always up to trouble, right? But it's all good trouble.
I'll tell you, it's fascinating stuff.
Shall we jump right in?
But yeah, jump right in there and tell us what you're up to.
All right, well, let's go back before we go forward. We had a wonderful annual meeting and spring luncheon in the month of June, and we had the opportunity to celebrate our 2016 Volunteer of the Year, Penny Fitch, who is not only our Volunteer of the Year, she's also our brand new board chair. So we're really excited to have her on board in that position, and are so grateful for the number of hours that she's put in.
She is a good penny.
She sure is. She's known as the house promoter. And everywhere she goes, she spreads the good news of the Edward King House and all great things within the community. So we'd like to thank her publicly again. We'd also like to thank our 2 champion for seniors. First, Lynn Glickman, who is our chair yoga instructor, who's really raised our health and wellness programs to a whole new level at the Edward King House. She's not only a fantastic instructor, she is a wonderful friend and confidant, and she's another set of eyes onto our program and keeping us current and relevant for today's seniors. So we're thrilled to announce that she's one of our champion for seniors. And Blenheim Newport, we also celebrated this year for their work and really believing that growing older does not mean that you need to hide away. They're really looking at providing a wonderful independent lifestyle for seniors that has lots and lots of services available for them when they need it. So we're really excited to have announced that we've got some really great champions for seniors this year. So the summer is here, and there are lots of great things that are going on at the Edward King House. But as I say that, I'm kind of tempering that comment by saying that with all the construction that's been going on around us in the around the King Estate and Aquidneck Park, When it's all done, it will be absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
As you know, the Broadway construction is beginning to come to a close, and the work on East Bowery has just about finished, and the work on the it's a parking lot at the Bellevue Garden, but in the end, that parking lot's going to look like a beautiful piazza when it's done. So we're looking forward to all of those projects coming to an end, but it's, parking is already a very complicated thing within the city, but when you layer on top of that a whole lot of construction, it becomes really, really complicated. So much of the programming that we have at the house this summer will be dialed back dramatically. Although we still have a very active health and wellness program. Instead of having 2 Tai Chi classes, there'll only be 1. And so registration is now open for the summer program. And the summer program won't begin until the 3rd week of July and will run for 5 weeks until the end of August. And I think really the most important thing to talk about is what our open and closure schedule is for the house throughout the summer. So as we speak, today marks the beginning of a vacation week for myself and the staff at the Edward King House. So the house will be closed from July 4th to July 8th, and we'll open up again on Monday the 11th. We'll be open for the following 6 weeks, and then we will close again Monday, August 29th to Monday, September 5th. That's our restore and recover week for the house. All the floors will get waxed, and lots of heavy-duty cleaning and some repairs and maintenance to go on in the house for that particular week. So instead of cutting back our hours for the summer, our hours will be as they normally are for the 6 weeks that we're open in the summer. So if anyone has the idea out there that we're closed for the summer, we are not closed for the summer, just the first and last week. And many of our groups will be reconvening in the fall, so they'll be taking a break throughout the summer months as well. Our knitting club, our weight loss support group, our adult coloring program, open art studio, our VNS service, the EKH chorus, our URI pharmacy program, writing family history, near-death experiences, and our pasta nights will all take a break for the summer, and we'll all be back in September. So they're not going far, they're just taking a little break. But all of our, cribbage and all of our card clubs, cribbage, bridge, mahjong, and Scrabble will all be, continuing on throughout the summer months. In fact, we're really excited to announce that we have some new mahjong instructors. So if there are folks out there who are interested in learning how to play mahjong, give us a call at 846-7426, and we can tell you a little bit more about our beginners mahjong program, which will be starting this summer. It's kind of exciting.
Wow.
We also have 3 trips planned this summer.
3?
3 of them. It's a great opportunity to kind of hit the road and find some cooler places to hang out in. So we'll be going to Foxwoods on July 20th. And all of these trips are being sponsored by Fox Tours. So there's an air-conditioned, Wi-Fi capable motor coach bus that will take us on all 3 of these trips. The first one being to Foxwoods in the month of July. We've had a huge call for folks who have been wanting to go and check out the new digs at Foxwoods. And with the trip comes a free lunch voucher as well as a $10 voucher for a casino slot play, if that's something you're interested in doing. I myself am interested in going to see some of the new shops that have opened up there. So we'll be doing that on July 20th. And then on August 17th, we'll be going to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. We'll have an opportunity to tour the museum. We'll have lunch at the Venezia restaurant and then have some free time at Quincy Market before heading home. It's a full day trip. The trip to Isabella Stewart Gardner is $79 per person, and it includes all of it from soup to nuts. So give us a call or send us an email. Or take a look at our website, www.edwardkinghouse.org, and take a look at the information regarding these particular trips. And then the last one is right here at home at the Newport Playhouse. We're going to go see a whole lot of cheating going on. It's $50 per person. It includes dinner, the main show, and the cabaret. It is a matinee event on Thursday, August 25th at noon. we'll all meet at the Newport Playhouse and enjoy a wonderful afternoon together in their air-conditioned comfort as well.
If you have not seen a production at the Newport Playhouse, you have no idea what you're missing.
Absolutely. If this is your first time, this is a great time to join us because you have no idea what you're in for.
And a lot of people go, where is that? It's tucked away over by the Viking Tours bus garage.
That's right, off of the Rotary. Yeah, absolutely. And the great thing, I think the Newport Playhouse is a wonderful gem in our community because you really get a lot of bang for your buck. With $50, you get a fantastic luncheon buffet, the main show, and the cabaret. You really can't beat that anywhere, honestly. So we're really looking forward to having a great group to meet us there for that particular event as well.
And life is a cabaret, old chum.
Life is a cabaret, absolutely.
That's right.
And I think I may have forgotten to mention that the Foxwoods trip is $29 per person. And again, that covers transportation, lunch, and the voucher for slot play.
How much?
$29.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a bargain.
It really is a great deal for all three of those trips. So they are slated to fill up fast. So give us a call or go ahead and register online. You can do that too. We're really looking forward to those trips this summer.
Now, as we record this program, it is the 30th of June. As you hear it, it is the 3rd of July, which means a very important date has come and gone.
Absolutely. So our new membership year began on Friday, July 1st. So if you have not renewed your membership to the Edward King House,
I have my checkbook in hand.
Yep,
Seriously.
making it just under the wire, Arthur. That a boy.
That's
We're really
it.
proud of you.
Johnny come lately.
But if you haven't renewed your membership, don't worry. It isn't too late. We'd love to have you. But you might have noticed if you're a renewal and you didn't renew by June 30, that you probably didn't get our July-August newsletter in the mail. So that's a hint. You'll also be getting a postcard from us asking if you happen to forget to renew your membership, just as a little reminder. And if you're a new member to the house, please come on over. You can really become a member anytime during the year. But the sooner you do it, the more benefits you can glean from being a member at the Edward King House. So we... Up until July 30th, it's only $25 for the year for membership, but after that, it goes up to $30. So we really encourage folks to...
After July 30th.
After July 30th. But the new membership year has begun officially this weekend. So if you haven't done it, get a move on. Come on over and see us. Give us a call. Do it online.
Who do I make my check payable to?
The Edward King House.
Just the Edward King House.
That's right. Yep.
Gotcha.
You got it. And $25 for you, my friend. You did it before July 30th.
Oh, what a
bargain.
25 or 30. I mean, it's the bargain either way. Are you kidding me? Like they say, membership has its privileges.
It sure does. Absolutely. And then, of course, our lunch program is still going very strong within the program. Now, remember that when the center is closed, lunch will not be served. So the first week of July and the last week of August, the lunch program will close down at the house, but we'll be working full steam ahead for the 6 weeks in the middle of the summer. Remember that you need to make your reservation 24 hours in advance so that we make sure to order a meal for you. And also know that you do not need to be a member of the Edward King House to participate in the senior dining program. If you're over the age of 60, it's a $3 suggested donation. Really the best deal in town for a full lunch.
Please.
Literally from soup to dessert. Absolutely. And as far as those trips I mentioned go, you don't have to be an Edward King House member to attend those, nor do you have to be a senior. So if you are a senior and you'd like to bring members of your family, you're more than welcome to do so.
Good point.
If you're not a senior, but you'd like to check out what the program's all about and meet new people, absolutely, come join us. You're welcome to register as well.
Okay.
Lots of exciting stuff with regards to that. I would like to give a little shout out for our friends at NIMFest.
Yes.
Let me tell you, we include NIMFest in our summer newsletter every year. I think mostly because the program exists throughout the summer. It is absolutely free. It's absolutely wonderful music. And it's at our brother location at King Park in Newport. And it's just got such a wonderful lineup from June 26th to August 28th. We have it posted on our...
That was the stapler I just knocked off the counter. I apologize 1,000 times.
We have it posted on our website as well, but certainly if you Google NIMFest 10, it'll all show up for you as well. It's really, another one of those fantastic opportunities in Newport that you really shouldn't miss. Bring a lawn chair, bring a picnic, really have the opportunity to enjoy some great music from 3 to 6 p.m.
Is there a better backdrop on the planet?
Nope.
Oh,
Absolutely.
God, just it is fabulous.
You couldn't create it out of your head even if you tried.
Nope.
Absolutely.
Nope,
The
nope,
Newport
nope.
Bridge and the harbor behind and the Ida Lewis Yacht Club, and it's just gorgeous down there. So
Yeah.
I hope to see many of our friends down there Sunday afternoons from 3 to 6, and the lineup is listed just about everywhere you look.
And by the way, this very afternoon, performing at NIMFest will be the Slackwater String Band and Four Bridges.
Yep, absolutely.
So there you go.
Yep, very, very exciting. You really need to go. We all need to go.
And of course, they have the family concert series at the beaches on
At
Tuesday
Easton's
nights
Beach.
are underway, and the
Yep.
kids' nights on Thursdays. So
Yeah, with Newport Rec, there's really so much to do
Oh.
in the city that costs nothing.
free.
Absolutely free. And with the best backdrop ever. So, as always, parking is interesting, for, lack of a better way of putting it. But, if you've lived here long enough, you know where to go and what time to be there. And, carpooling is always really important. But load up the family into the car and take the trip down. It's well worth it. So I hope to see you all there.
By the way, you're getting my last check in my 2800
Just as
series.
it should be, huh?
So there you go.
Thank you, Art.
My pleasure.
Officially reinstated. Congratulations. And some of the other things that I really wanted to get, a little shout out in are Senior Health Insurance Program is looking for volunteers to help with open enrollment for Medicare in the coming year. If anyone out there is interested in volunteering their time to help seniors to take care of the open enrollment session, all hands on deck. We need as much help as we can get. The AARP tax aid folks are also looking for volunteers to help folks to submit their taxes later on in the year from February to April. So if anyone's interested in volunteering, you don't have to be a senior to do that. But if you have time and you'd like to help, we'd love to have you join us. So give us a call again at the center, 846-7426, and let us know that you're interested in helping. A little safety reminder with regards to identity theft and protecting yourself from identity theft. Make sure that you're watching out what you put in the trash. Anything that has your social security number or even your contact information, make sure you shred it. And if you can't shred it, then rip it up into little pieces before you put it into the trash or into the recycling bin. It's really important that you protect your identity and you protect all of that really important information. And believe it or not, there are miscreants out there who will go dumpster diving looking for that kind of information. So you don't need to necessarily keep it, depending on what it is. But before you throw it away, all of those junk mailings that you get for credit cards, rip them up before you put them in either the trash or the recycling bin.
Now, why is that? What do those include that people may not realize?
Well, it's kind of funny. So it includes your name. It'll include your address right there. That's really all anybody needs to do a search on who you are. And when all is said and done, they can fill out that application in your name. And before you know it, they've opened up a credit card account in your name, but somewhere else. And you don't even know it. You're not even aware of it until you go to apply for a loan or you go to apply for another credit card on your own. Nobody thinks about those kinds of things. Even those promotional things that you get, junk mail in the mail. It's got some information on it, most of which is public, but when it's all given or handed to them on a silver platter like that, rip it up. Make sure it's all torn up before it gets out there. Absolutely. Really important to do that. So if I've left you with nothing else today, Art, I hope that that's an important one for you. Rip it up 3, 4, 5 times. If you have a shredder, by all means, use it. But if not, certainly rip up that stuff. So it's not only your own personal documentation, but anything that comes in to you. You'd be very surprised at what's out there for public information, that when that criminal out there gets to put 2 and 2 together, they've taken you over.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like you said, there are people that are really persistent about, they will go dumpster diving, as you put it, to looking for that stuff.
Especially in apartment buildings, high rises, senior communities, that kind of thing, where the dumpsters are not necessarily locked because you need access to them. They're actually looking to prey upon senior individuals. So we ask you to be very, very careful. And if you don't need it, shred it, rip it up, and make it very difficult for anyone to be able to take advantage of you in that particular way.
Now we're down to our final 2 or 3 minutes, and I would be remiss if we didn't just take a couple of minutes and remember our good friend who we lost rather suddenly just within the past couple of weeks, Jack Napolitano.
Jack Napolitano.
Big friend and supporter of the Edward King Center. I used to so look forward to having him on when I was doing my program on The Daily Show on WADK.
Yeah.
He every October, he'd come in and talk about his meatball rolling demonstrations.
Yeah.
And he actually was nice enough to bring some samples one year.
Yeah.
These things were like bocce balls.
They were, and they were delicious.
Well, I mean, it's in size,
Yeah.
but boy, were they good.
Oh, absolutely. And it's kind of funny. So Jack's smile could light up Times Square.
Oh.
And he gave a hug that would make you gasp for air. He was bigger than life. He'd fill up a room.
Yep.
But the funny story with Jack and myself is that I met him 3 years ago when I first started at the Edward King House, in the middle of the parking lot at the Edward King House, and he's trying to get the biggest pot of marinara sauce out of the trunk of his car. And that's where I met him. Mm-hmm. Meatballs, marinara sauce, my buddy Jack, the trunk of his car, in the parking lot of the Edward King House. Who are you and what are you doing? Hi, he says, I'm Jack, and I've come to cook.
Yeah,
and the relationship started from there, and I miss him already.
If you ever heard him there are people that have been were outside the studio, swore they could hear Jack out there.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
it wasn't just, let's put on a happy face because it's the radio.
Yeah.
That was Jack. That's the way he was all the time.
He was just truly a happy man, and our thoughts and prayers go to Mayor Napolitano, to Jean Marie, and to her family, and to Sean, and to the entire Napolitano clan. You may never know how much we personally loved him and what an impact he's had on the community. Mm-hmm. He's one of those icons, that we spoke of in the last segment, that will forever have a lasting impact on, remembering when in the city of Newport.
And last weekend, the Newport Daily News, as they do quite often, were nice enough to do a feature piece after Jack passed away, and everything you read about Jack in that article was Jack.
That was Jack, yeah.
So.
And we used to say that about him too. I do a lot of photography within the community, and took some wonderful photographs of Jack in the past 3 years. And the caption always read the same: "It's just Jack."
Yeah.
The biggest smile that just kind of opened up the world, and you couldn't help but giggle or smile yourself when you saw him. And we'll forever miss that.
Yeah.
That warm smile and that warm heart.
Yeah. But he's just one of those guys, whenever you think of him, it does bring a big smile to your face.
It sure does, yep. Always will.
Yeah. But I did want to just mention Jack, because I know he was a good friend of the
that.
center's and was involved in a lot of activities up there. And
Sure was.
So, anyway.
Thank you.
All right. On that note, I think we are just about out of time.
We are.
Thanks for bringing Alicia along for the
My
first
pleasure.
portion of the program. And I shouldn't admit this, but Alicia and I used to see each other in these studios bright and early every morning for a couple of years at least.
You did.
She walked in and she said, "Remember, I used to work here." I went, "Yeah, that Alicia." But she had that good-looking hat
She had
on.
a great hat on today, yep.
So I'll use that as my excuse. Well, listen, enjoy the downtime.
Thank you.
Again, the Edward King House will be closed from the 4th through the 11th.
Right. We'll be opened up again on the 11th.
Okay.
Yep. It'll be registration week that week, and then classes will begin the week after.
We'll have you back in about a month, and we'll already be talking about August.
I know.
Oh, no.
Looking forward to it, Art. Thank you.
Thank you, Carm.